Hi, I'm April Martin, and my report today will be on the inefficient North Carolina public education funding, low teacher pay, and large per pupil spending gaps. North Carolina public schools are underfunded in comparison to the rest of the United States in teacher pay and per pupil spending. The insufficient funding has led to low post high school graduation success. Education Week states that North Carolina's student success rate after graduation is ranked at 31st in the country with a C plus grade Especially in low wealth counties, the per pupil spending is not enough to cover basic school supplies. In Education Week's annual Quality Counts 2018 survey, North Carolina came in 45th in the country with a D grade in public education funding. The National Education Association ranked North Carolina as 43rd in the country for per pupil spending, decreasing its per pupil student spending from $8,955 in 2016 to $8,949 in 2017 per student. Average teacher pay is $49,837 and ranked at 35th in the country. North Carolina's teachers make about $9,000 less than the national average teacher pay of $58,950. The lack of government funding makes it difficult for North Carolina public school teachers to obtain the classroom supplies and resources needed to adequately educate students, resulting in a lower post graduation success rate. The 2018 local school finance study reports that the per pupil spending varies from district to district. Districts and counties with higher real estate values have a greater number of taxable resources in comparison to low wealth districts and counties. An ongoing and increasing per pupil spending gap has been created between high wealth and low wealth communities. The study compared the top 10 spending counties to the 10 lowest spending counties. The top 10 spending counties averaged $3,103 per pupil, while the lowest 10 spending counties averaged only $739 per pupil. The purpose of this report is to raise awareness for the need of increased government funding for North Carolina public schools. Increased government funding is needed to increase teacher pay to equal the national average mean salary and increase classroom supplies and resources. This report will explore the different budget expansion requests made by North Carolina State Board of Educators, or the SBE. This report will examine the challenges that result from insufficient public school funding and how meeting teachers' budget expansion requests may alleviate current funding issues. North Carolina allots 27% of its state spending towards education. The lack of funds motivated North Carolina public educators and supporters to organize a march in downtown Raleigh in hopes to pressure local legislators to increase public education funding. On May 16th, 2018, the number of teachers and staff who attended the rally was so large that 40 North Carolina public school counties had to close for the day. Approximately 19,000 people participated in the rally. In the FY 2017 through 2019 State Board of Education expansion budget request funding priorities for implementing the SBE strategic plan, the SBE focused their requests on six main funding points: paying our talented team, adding more talented members to the team, enhancing skills of the team, enhancing the classroom experience for teachers and students, supporting for results, and investing in what works. Within these categories are subcategories that are to allow the SBA to go into detail regarding their requests. The SBE requested additional funds for updating and replacing out of date programs and equipment, additional staff, a 1% pay increase for current public school staff, additional staff training, increased food and equipment by 20% to meet basic nutrition requirements governed by the Child Nutrition, and classroom spending for books, supplies, and other learning equipment. The highest budget expansion request of the report was for increased recurring budget for student support services by 250%. These services include student health center, audiology, psychology, social worker, guidance counselor, speech therapist, physical therapist, and occupational therapist. Children who attend North Carolina public schools deserve more than to come in 45th place in the country for education. Evidence of not meeting the basic nutrition requirement governed by child nutrition due to lack of funding, and the request of a 250% increase for the recurring student support services budget speaks volumes of the North Carolina public school funding deficit. Although 27% of the North Carolina state funding goes to education, it is clearly not a sufficient amount to rank North Carolina in the top 50% in education in the country. Some recommendations. State funding needs to be increased to provide staff with pay that is at least equal to the national teacher pay average salary and to bridge the per pupil spending gap between high real estate counties and low real estate counties. There are recommendations from both the legislative side and the public education staff side. Recommendation number 1, increase teacher pay. $11.8 million is allocated to fund salary increases for teachers. The average teacher raise is 6.5%. The teacher salary schedule starts at $3,500 per month and increases by $100 for each year of service until 15 years. Between years of 15 through 24, teachers would earn $5,000 per month. This rate is frozen until teachers reach 25 years of service. At 25 and over years, the monthly salary would be $5,200 per month. This budget eliminates $5 million for veteran teacher bonuses. Recommendation number 2, hold the state responsible for bridging the gap between low per pupil spending counties and high per pupil spending counties by allowing North Carolina municipalities to spend property tax values on any public school. This would allow the counties to move funds in between low spending counties and high spending counties. The third recommendation is discontinue performance pay programs. Many teachers feel it's unfair and inaccurate to base teacher pay on student performance. And that is my report. Thank you so much, and I hope you enjoyed.